Hi guys, thank you for joining us tonight at the webinar How to Connect C++ with Other Languages, Python and Java, Swift, Dart. My name is Luba. I'm event specialist at Intellias, and I hope this information is going to be useful for you. You will get some insights and just have some great time with us tonight. So while others are joining, I will just say a few words about our company, about Intellias. So interesting projects, international clients, global representation, and a lot of open vacancies. That's what we are about. I will send you the link to our website. You don't hesitate to check it out. Maybe you'll find something interesting for you. And now just a couple of technical issues. You can leave your questions in the chat and our speaker will answer them at the end of his presentation during the Q&A session. What else? About the feedback. Yeah, I will also send you the link to the feedback. Please consider to fill it in if you have some questions, if you want to share some interesting topics we can cover at our next events. We'll be so grateful for that. And that's basically it on my side. Let's get started. I would like to introduce our speaker. It's Kirilo Chernaha, Senior C++ Engineer at Intellias. Kirilo, I'm glad you're here tonight. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Luba. Hi, everyone. Let me start presentation. Yeah, so my experience is about automotive, banking, acquiring, a bit of robotics, ITML, and one of the sub-projects will be showing today. Yeah, so, and if you wish to contact me, you can do it by LinkedIn. Okay, so our plan for today is to realize why do we need to connect C++ with other languages, a bit of detailed vision between interconnection of C++ and ML model that was written on Python, some challenges in automation of this process, and not only this, but in general. Also deep dive into Gluecodium. So this is one of the tools that representing this automation tool for interoperability. Examples, features, some comparison between close enough tools between each other, and yeah, useful resources, of course, I will share with you. So let's start. So reasons to connect. I see two main reasons. One of them is to reuse of existing code. Of course, we have a lot of C++ libraries that was written few years ago, or even some, I don't know, really obsolete, but still using in some even modern projects. But you know, code is workable. Why don't to use it? And of course, for project is cheap to already use existing solutions, not to write new one or several for exactly one purpose. So, for example, we have our users and some mobile solutions. Of course, two most popular is iPhone and Android. For iPhone, since 2015, we also use Swift, but before Objective-C. And for Android, we use Java and Kotlin. We try to use some features, some functions from C++ libraries, but we cannot do it directly because we need to somehow connect via some wrapper on it. And yeah, there's our pain, this layer, because it has a lot of awful code. It's hard to debug, it's hard to maintain a lot of templates, and yeah. Another reason that I see is performance. C++ is a high-performance language, obviously, and if we have some delays, some performance issue on more high-level languages, on the UI side, we try to use C++ to increase our performance and overall make user experience happier. Okay, so let's consider my use case. It will be not about in this direction from, let's say, Swift, Java to C++, but the opposite. Why do we need so? Or why do we need this? The use case is the next. In the COVID times, we have an issue to quickly detect if the people wearing masks in the some, I don't know, shops and streets, everywhere, when we can access their faces via safety cameras. Yeah, so what we had at those moments, and yeah, at that moment, we had open source ML model. It was ready. I had specific environment without possibility to run exactly a Python code, but we had, let's say, C++ compute node, and it's okay for us to have some latency in this. So because this project uses in real time, so frame by frame, it's okay for us to not show results exactly in this microsecond, but with a little delay of 2-3 seconds. So it's okay to use Python somewhere inside. Yeah, and obviously, why? Not obviously, but why these solutions came to my mind? Because as for our customer said, we need it yesterday, and we need to create some proof of concept just immediately. So yeah, of course, there are more convenient and more reliable way to do so is to, okay, if you have already existing Python model, you can try to convert it to C++ ML model. Possible solutions is Keras to C++, ML to C++, or an NX converter, but this is a tricky point because you need to do some intermediate conversion between your model and ONNX or other one. It depends on the platform when you try to run it. We used some specific NVIDIA hardware, yeah. So we tried to convert it with several steps. Of course, TensorFlow has its own solutions, but we just decided to use Python code directly from C++. So let's see how it was. A little spoiler, it was really bad. So yeah, let's start from the, let's say, main function. As you see, we use, at first step, we use just Python C API. It has different functions like initialize, init threads, save threads, acquire, release, and etc. And it's all different. And like, you know, there's no RAI idiom like resource acquisition is initialization, but we will see it a bit later. So it's too hard to maintain this code. Yeah, and of course, in the end, we need to clean up all stuff. So yeah, this is C++ code. We have, on the other hand, Python code with this ML model, and somewhere, yeah, this is our main function where all frames are processed in some loop, and we try to understand is this picture with mask or without mask. So this code is hard to read, and the most difficult issue is this in this project is that when you try to connect C++ and Python, you need to resolve issue with GIL. GIL is global interpreter log. Easy to say, it's like a mutex inside Python interpreter to prevent some race condition. And you need to handle it manually on each step, like acquiring and releasing threads. It was, to be honest, really bad code because we tried to use some sleep for without condition variables and etc. So this is really bad solution, but we need it quickly. And I was interested to use ChatGPT, how it can convert my bad solution using PyBind 11. So PyBind 11 it's a header-only library to make our life easier, not to use every single variable from Python C API and a bit of RAI idiom usage, of course. Honestly, I didn't compile and run this code, but as a pseudocode, it can be used just to understand main purpose of this library. So you have some functions. PyBind 11 has its own object by a function. GIL is used as just a log guard in C++. So you just acquire and that's it. I tried to run ChatGPT several times. So I said it like, okay, can you improve my code without using slip4? And where is it? Oh, it's tried to create a separate class. Okay, it's not really interesting. It's tried to join threads itself. Somewhere it was with condition variable somewhere. So if you don't know how to resolve your new problem, new for you, like how to connect two languages between each other, and you have some bad solution, or just you can try ChatGPT. It can generate good ideas. Of course, code will be not so good and probably has a lot of bugs, but you can use it. So let's back to our presentation. So at first step, why this is bad to not use already existing C++ interoperability libraries, because as you saw before, a lot of bad code everywhere. But okay, let's consider some pros and cons for this solution. Pros: it was really quickly, I don't know, for about 2 or 3 days. Solution is workable, not maintainable. Yes, but we need to show to customer that it's possible to use our environment to detect mask via some cameras. We have pretty good precision at it, about 90%, something like that. So for POC, it's okay. And without external heavy libraries. So some times ago, there was popular Boost Python library. So it was like Python C API inside Boost. But as we know, Boost is a heavy library. So to use this only Python module from Boost, you need to link whole Boost library. But yeah, only one really good point for this solution I see is you use pure Python C++ API, so without any additional wrappers. And obvious concept, hard to maintain, GIL and some garbage collectors issues. Yeah, also there can be a trouble with using complex structs. So my task was just to show two numbers, like amount of people with mask and without mask. So it's just two ints, nothing special. But if you want to pass something complex, it's not about just Python C API. Yeah, let's move on. There is a table I borrowed from some Qt presentations. They have Shiboken tool. It's a code generation tool that all that stuff that you just saw from py blah 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 function, it will be generated for you as a separate layer, and you don't need to create it by your own. And there are several solutions like this. We will consider a bit just in comparing of for Gluecodium Swig. As I said before, Boost Python, but as you see, it's just an interface. It's not generating some APIs for you. So yeah, if you want to connect C++ and Python, you can compare these solutions. Yeah, more funny stuff. When I started to learn these fields, of course, use Google, internet, and reading some articles. So there are lots of articles, which mean a lot of the same stuff, and there is not so good glossary for that. And yeah, so one term has the same meaning in different articles. So let's say FFI, it's a foreign function interface. Gluecode, that you mean like you connect two languages, language binding, language bridge, interoperability. It's a too long word for us. Let's say just interop. From Java, and not only for Java, we use native code, native access, native interface. Somewhere I saw interface to C++. I'm bad at Windows development, but I saw that complex component object model is kind of in this field. If I remember correctly, you can correct me in the chat. So when we use C# and try to call some functions from C++ library, comp can help you with it. But of course, this technology exists more than 20 years. It has some evolution with some Windows runtime. So I'm not deep dive into this topic, but it's in this field also. And yeah, one more, C++ as a service. I saw this only in one article, and it's a good title to understand what's going on. So if you have a not C++ language, you try to use C++ inside. Some automatic interrupt challenges that we can start with. First one is that marshalling issue. Marshalling is that when you try to transfer some object from one memory module to another. Like object is considered in the one block of memory, but we try to use it from different languages, different modules. It's kind of serialization, but not exactly. Second problem is to about first one. We will discuss it a bit later. So easy way to say it, like you try to convert one type to another in different languages and how to do it. Second one is if you are a C++ library developer, interoperability tools is okay for you because you are owner of your specific types. And when you try to use third-party libraries, they already created their own types, and there can be a tricky moment to use to reconvert their types to some other specific. For example, Qt types. Without Shiboken, you need to create like your own Shiboken, and Qt has a lot of custom types, and it's hard to maintain. For Swift, C++ interoperability, I know that most challenging issues is to use templates. Also, what you need to consider before using interoperability tools is that calling conventions between different platforms, some blocking calls, and in C++, you need to think about in some cases, allocation of, let's say, std function, not to be careful with some memory leaks, use some static and dynamic oh my god, like wall grind sanitizers. Yeah, I forgot this word. Not so hard issue, but can be, it's ABI, application binary interface. So you need to check your compiler flags, your cross compilation opportunity. The most tricky moment is if you want to create library, like universal library for, let's say, Windows and Linux, there can be a problem. And 4, 5, and 9 points in this list, gathered together. If you have very tricky problems, you need to go to assembler level. Let me show you. Yeah, these calling conventions. So how you move your parameters from one function to another, what registers are used in some cases. Registers, I mean, on assembler level. So yeah, if you're really interested in low-level topic, you can just for start analyze Wikipedia with calling conventions, and also there will be one resource that I will share with you on YouTube. There is a very good presentation. C++ exceptions, yes, it's also a tricky moment how to throw exception from C++ code to, let's say, Java or Swift. We will see that in Gluecodium it was kind of safe solutions to convert it just to some error codes. So there is no like universal binary contract in these cases. Yeah, garbage collection. we need to consider it because Java, Swift have garbage collection, C++ not. How to manipulate with your object lifetime, who is owner of your object at this time. And 8 point is to how to can you use some metadata and attributes in your API from C++ to transferring it to your language. For example, in C++ 17, we have no discard, unused, maybe unused, and some other, for us, it's syntax sugar, but how to convert it to other languages, it's a non-trivial problem. Yeah, at some slides, or yeah, no. So Genie is one of the automated tool for generating code to glue your code between C++ and some other languages, let's say Swift. And yeah, why I consider this tool? So it was it had good maintained by Dropbox, but in 2019 or 2020 year, I don't remember, they decided not to maintain it anymore because of what's the history of this project. So they also have some mobile development, two separate teams, Android and iOS, and one small team that used C++ libraries. And they tried to keep their time, not to hire people exactly for Android, for iOS, to create their own libraries, but to use C++. But from time to time, they saw that not all features they can provide from C++ to their own platforms, languages. So they decided to close this project. You can use, but it's like deprecated from their side. So yeah, if you want to use such tools, you should consider like how long can you use it, if and who is maintainer of such projects, of such automated tools. So let's consider Gluecodium. Pros of this project is that it has good documentations. Exactly, this project uses IDL, it's interface definition language. So let's see what I mean. Yeah, Gluecodium generates C++, Java, Swift, and Dart code. There is documentation how you can get started and build and testing this. User guide describing how some keywords, some essential features can be used in C++ and Java, Swift, Dart. So like classes are generated as an abstract class in C++, and as wrapper classes containing an all conversion and binding code in platform code. So yeah, you can read it. Let me show some example. Sorry. We have some small automation tool to quickly generate line file. So yeah, ideal. What is ideal in our case? We have specific line files. It's like a universal language for our case. We have some class not in Java, not in C++, but is in some custom. And after we create only this one file, it will generate a lot of stuff starting from C++ with headers, like, let me split it. And yeah, this, okay. Where is one file? Okay. Yeah, one not good point is that Gluecodium has syntax highlighting in, I don't remember, not in VS Code, but in some others IDEs. So, processor delegate. We have interface this. Yes, and this one was generated by Gluecodium as a C++ class. So in Lime, we have it like interface. In C++, we don't have such keyword as interface, but we can create class with pure virtual function. In that case, it's yeah, destructor by default. And one function that was described in line file on processor event. So yeah, you can see how it generated. And this one you have on C++ side. For headers, you should implement by your own source files, source CPP files. Where is it? Includes, yeah. Yeah, so it generates like default state for C++ for CPP files, and all implementation you can write here. This on the one hand. On the other, we have generated files for Swift, Java, and Dart when you can, as a user from, in this case, like UI side, you can use already functions that you want to use from C++ library. So this all code was generated by Gluecodium. You don't need to touch anything here. And yeah, if you want to use it, there is Swift translated this interface to a public protocol with only one function. Yeah, and this all stuff you don't need. One more for Dart. Yeah, in Dart, C++ interoperability, and not only C++, but overall called FFI foreign function interface. Yeah, and so yeah, this whole structure is from small automation tool. So of course, in your project, you will not see these hidden files in main structure. It will be in some build directories. So yeah, don't be scared. In Dart, it will be generated as abstract class with, as you see, some factory keyword. And in Swift, Swift we already discussed. And in Android, yeah, in Android, it's just a simple public interface. And some other stuff are hidden, I suppose, inside GNI folder. That means Java native interface. Yeah, and all this stuff also was generated. So without Gluecodium, you need to write it by your own, all this stuff. Yeah, so it's like quickly. So in Gluecodium project, we have documentation to explain all keywords of a Lime language. Yeah, how to use. Okay, let's consider one. For my opinion, it's like a killer feature, external types. So general concept. Yeah, let's say for Java. This is also about marshalling. So if you, before we see just simple examples of some custom types, but if you already have some specific type from native Java library or Swift, doesn't matter, you can use external keyword in your Lime definition, and this will Gluecodium will understand that, okay, I do not need to create exactly the same type, like a duplicate for this type, but I will serialize object of this class entity, I don't know, to C++. So in C++, you just need to create fields that representing this object model. So there will no be some overhead. Yeah, sorry for my English. Yeah, going back to presentation. Let's compare two Gluecodium and Swig. Honestly, I didn't use Swig by my own, so I just read about it something, and yeah, there are some. They have a much common between each other, but purpose of Gluecodium is to use modern languages for mobile development, like Swift and Dart. And as a used library, you use only C++. For Swig, you also use C++ under the hood. But this more general purpose tool, most of languages are scripting, like Python, Ruby, I don't remember, Perl, yeah, and some other specific, maybe some are also functional languages. They both use IDL languages. For Gluecodium is Lime, for Swig is additional interface file with a bit not really user-friendly syntax. Lots of specific symbols inside it. So for mobile development, for creating API between your library and user of this library, Gluecodium, for my opinion, is better solution than Swig. Yeah, some useful resources that can be used and that I can share with you is that first one, yeah, if you really want to use some low level, if you want to understand low level issues that can be when you use automation, C++ interoperability tools, this is about first one meetup on a CPPCon. This is if you're not really familiar with Dart, Flutter. Flutter is the framework that used with Dart. Yeah, so just a short video explained in 100 seconds what is a Dart and its purpose. And also a good explanation of Flutter and integrating C++ code into your project. Also, I listened interesting podcasts from Boost Python developer previously. Currently, he working in Apple to maintain Swift interoperability feature, between Swift and C++. So currently, Swift and C++ connected between each other through Objective-C and Objective-C++. So yeah, they have kind of bridge with not only one bridge, but two bridges: Swift, Objective-C, Objective-C++, C++. And Apple tried to reduce such number of connections. Currently, as I saw this project in some impeded state, but we'll see will it develop or not. Yeah, and one more YouTube video about Flutter. So here is a link for Gluecodium. Also, one more competitor for Gluecodium is Scapix. Yeah, why we do not consider Scapix at all at this presentation, and because it's like a Gluecodium, but without ideal definitions. So you need to create your C++ header files in such way that it's substitution of your, let's say, abstract ideal language. So header goes to the input already. You don't need something else. But in such cases, you have strict conditions, strict rules to use exactly narrow amount of features from C++. And this is not interesting for us to use, to reduce already by some tool less features from C++ that we can and that we want to. Yeah, and more information about Swig you can use on their site. Yeah, it was short. I supposed to use more time, but yeah. Thank you for your attention, and yeah, let's consider. Let's see what questions you have now, if you have.
Thank you so much for a great presentation. I will check what do we have in the chat. Please don't hesitate to write any questions, and don't forget to share your feedback. It is quite useful for our speaker and overall for our events. And yeah, tomorrow I will send you the email with a follow-up and the presentation that you've seen today and recording of this video. So maybe let's just wait a couple of minutes. Probably you covered all the questions on the way.
I can just go through presentation. Maybe I will remind something interesting. Yeah, one more tool that you can consider is zip.
We have one question. I will send it to the chat. Please check it out.
Why use Python in the first place other than for prototyping purposes? Sounds like a big performance drawback decision for a system like ML. Have you tried pure C++ solution for ML instead? Yeah, so if we go back to this one, there was, as I said, a very specific environment at the moment. So we cannot use directly only Python. Our running code was on C++. Why we not to use C++ ML model? Because it needed more time to understand how to convert Python model to C++ model, and we tried to convert it to some ARM v7, maybe, yeah, ARM v7 platform. So we tried to use some cross compilation features and a lot of difficult stuff. So just to create quick proof of concept solution, we decided to okay, let's do not break anything inside existing ML model. Let's keep it as it is and try to glue our code that already exists. So yeah, maybe if there was some good times and more free time, yeah, maybe we went invest more time, yeah.
Okay, I guess that's it for now. Please, guys, if you have any questions, we still have a bit time. Leave them in the chat as our speaker is here. We can cover any other aspects of this topic.
Yeah, also the opposite situation, you can use C++ from Python is the most usual use case. In such cases, people use Cython. I do not consider this in presentation because honestly, I do not have experience with it. I thought at my first attempt that Cython is the same that C Python API, but not. So yeah, sorry for that.
Well, we have some comments that it was really useful. That's great. Thank you once again for this amazing presentation. If you will still have any questions, you can send it to the form which you have here, and tomorrow I'll also send it to your email as a follow-up. Have a great evening, and I will see you guys at our next events. Thank you, Krilla.
Yeah, thank you too. Have a nice day.